Hello everybody and welcome back to Blue Ridge Survival. Today I'm doing a pretty cool survival challenge where I literally go into the wilderness with nothing but a pot, only stuff I can have on my keychain, and a hatchet. I do have a little confession to make before I came and got the camera to start filming a video. I had already been out here for about 2 hours working on it, and I got a shelter already set up over there and a fire. So I just got that set up, but the fire's cold. So I didn't necessarily cheat, but I already have a bunch of shelter and that set up, so sorry about that. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is get a fire started. So I got my pot attached to a ferro rod, which could easily have been attached to my keychain. And then I have my keychain, which just has a Bigfoot on it, Bigfoot multi-tool, a knife sharpener, small pocket knife, and a plasma arc lighter. So yeah. And then I've got my trusty hatchet right here. Gerber hatchet. It's a very good hatchet. Alright, so that's all I get to do, and I'm gonna have to survive. Alright, so I got my small twigs, my tinder fuel stuff, and my big twigs. So I'm just gonna get a fire started here. So I've got my plasma arc lighter. When you press it, a little bead of plasma or a cross of plasma, and this will at 4,000 degrees. So it's super hot plasma. Got that going. Now I'm gonna grab some leaves since they don't burn quite as well. They burn well, but they don't light well. Get that started. You see, it's pretty easy to actually survive with just a plasma lighter. Alright, so I did bring some fishing line on my survival kit, or on my keychain, and I'm gonna head out there to grab a few fish for us to eat. Alright, so I've got my fishing line on a little Lego spool. It's just a tiny little weight and a hook. I'm gonna go down to the stream down there and catch myself a fish. Gotta be armed down here because there's a lot of strange people. So I got my axe. I gotta grab some worms first though. Got myself some worms. Gotta head over there and grab some fish. Okay, I'm right by the creek. I'm gonna get my big worm and pull these gloves off because I can't really feel what I'm gonna do. So I got my rigged hand line, and the fish in this creek don't get bigger than 7 inches, so they're not huge. I'm just gonna pinch off a tiny little piece of this booger. Got my worm. Got my line spool. I'm gonna toss it into the creek and get a bite. Now it's just a matter of time. Got my line right there. Sitting in the water, waiting for a good bite. See, that's how I attached my spool. That's why I kind of like having a spool. You can just stick it on a stick and basically just let it float. I actually just did have one on. It was just super small. Tiny, like, oh. Nope. Had one. I had one on for a second there, but it was like maybe an inch long. It was really small. It's so nice when you see that line suddenly go out. You know you've got a fish when that happens. Guys, I have 5 minutes before I gotta get back up and do other things at the camp. So, really hope I'll get one. It looks like there's actually a fish possibly on the line now. Okay guys, no luck fishing. Don't know why. Didn't get really good bites. Guess it was all small fish, but did stumble across something pretty cool, which is this. Straight up onions, wild onions. They're not ramps, they're just literally onion grass. I was hoping to get some fish to go with them, because that would be pretty dang good. Onions and fish. That's pretty good for just catching it in the woods yourself, but guess I'm just having fried onions tonight. It's a great view. The creek running down through the bottom of that. Big hill on that side. Guys, here's a really easy recipe to do for your bushcraft. I'm gonna get this fire going again. So this recipe is simple. All you need is a bunch of onion grass, all that stuff. But all you've got to do, so all you need for this recipe is onions. What you're gonna do is you get your pan up to temperature, and we got it. And you chop the onions into halves so they'll fit in your pot, and you just stick them in, literally. And when they fry down, once they get really hot and crispy, to the point where they're almost flat, they're actually very good to eat. They taste a lot kind of like Funyuns, except not salty. They're just plain. We're almost ready to eat our hopefully pretty good food, but it's got to cook, so we've got to wait. So in a survival situation, 90% of the food that's plant food that you find is going to be in those big, huge clearings that you find in the woods, which aren't actually that common, but like on rock outcroppings in the mountains, stuff like that. That's where you're going to find most of your food. It's not going to be in the woods because there's nothing growing. Right, so the actual onions are done. We've removed this pot. The green stuff is, for some reason, pine needles. I don't know why. I'd rather just put pine needles on it. Alright, so that's our bushcraft food. It's actually these, see how it's kind of like turned into black brittle wood? It's very good. So basically, it kind of tastes kind of, those ones are a little bit overdone. They should be that, more this color. I don't think you can tell. But it's, yeah, see how it's more of a brown color? That's the right color, because they still maintain some of that salty taste to them, while not tasting too disgusting like the black ones did. So those ones are a little overdone. Now the trick is getting that water back up. It's actually still kind of cloudy. Alright, half my water's already gone. Finally got back up. Got that water going. The water is now bubbling at the bottom. You gonna see it? Once you get that point, you just gotta wait until it completely hits a rolling boil. When it hits a rolling boil, then you can pull it off and cool it. Oh guys, I forgot to tell you the purpose of this weird log wall I made earlier. It's actually just, it's not a very good one, because I couldn't find good logs, but it's basically to direct the heat from the fire, like act as a reflector, to push the heat from the fire, reflect it back to the person sitting right here. So it's basically just a heat reflector. If you have a like mylar blanket, those work super well because they're already reflective. They work amazingly for that. Okay, I get that it's not the best fort, best survival shelter. Pretty dang small. Hey, but it works, just barely. It is 40 degrees out. It's really not that cold, actually. Oh, luckily I don't have to spend the night tonight, or I'd have to build a lot better shelter. sorry, but I've run out of time, so I'll have to finish this video tomorrow. It probably will come out whenever I have time to do it. But the water sort of boiled, sort of not. But that's how you boil it, roughly. Just, it would be better if you had a bush pot with a handle across the top that you can hang it. But yeah, so that's all for today. Thanks for watching. Subscribe and watch more videos. And oh yeah, I gotta vote on what my next video should be in the community section. Okay, cool. See you next time on Blue Ridge Survival.